So to start off with, you see the Bone Grinder, which was the name of the windmill, smouldering away. The funerary pyre has burnt down and is just a smouldering heap as itself. There are ravens perched amongst the trees nearby, just sort of on looking. And as I said in the last session we played of this, the ash sort of starts to pour into like a little bit of a sinkhole, and the pores, and then the rest of the form of the Hellhound pup, Sparky, sort of claws its way out, and it sniffs around and then sits back on its haunches and howls at the sky.
Poor Sparky.
We also see Korik walking in his zombie mode from the Bone Grinder through the village of Barovia, past the Barovian gates, and then attempting to disappear into the fog again and again. You see, and this is a day or so later, you see the March of the Damned appearing from the graveyard in Barovia and marching through the town.
Oh yeah.
And as it passes through, a couple of the Vistani? Holy crap, it's been a little while since we've done this. I've already forgotten the names of them. Vistani are in the inn having a drink, and as the procession walks past, they actually recognise a couple of the visages within the march. They recognise the stout cleric of Thedrum, and they see the taller human Avrot amongst the march. And at that point, they realise that these guys are gone.
They were cool though.
Are they sad? Do they seem sad?
They definitely seem very sad.
The ghosts or the Vistani?
The ghosts seem to be walking with purpose. The Vistani, one of them sort of wipes the bottom of his eye, and then together they sort of raise a glass to the procession, and they, one of them takes their hat off and sort of places it over their chest as the procession goes past.
Here's to those darn idiots. They shouldn't have done that.
You then see back at this would be another couple of days after the Vistani see the march, the charcoal and ash remains of the funerary pyre. A couple of ravens start picking at sort of the ashy bones and trying to find any sort of shiny trinkets or anything that are amongst the ashes. All the magical items that were there are, they're scorched, but they are fundamentally intact.
Is it magic?
They are magic, and just a simple fire is not going to destroy them. There's a ornate book, embossed with a golden sun. There's a set of aviator sunglasses, small smithing hammer, ring as well. Yeah, there's bits and pieces like that. And with Augustus's remains, there's a knife, curved blade, with a coarse rope that binds around like a vial in the hilt. That vial is filled with blood.
Is that an item that he had?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
That's what he got out of the deck of cards.
Yeah, he had a knife.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
That didn't come up very much.
He had a knife, he had a staff, he had either a ring or a cloak of protection, and the deck of cards.
One of the ravens sort of pecks at the knife, and the blood sort of moves within this vial. And soon after, the ravens take off with a shock, as an eye formed within that vial and look straight back at the raven.
That's creepy.
Gross.
Okay,
What does it mean?
setting.
Whose blood was in that
Most
knife?
of it would be Augustus's, soaked up when he was laying in his own pool.
Right.
He got struck by lightning.
And then you stabbed him.
And then you stabbed it.
I know. You don't have to rub it in. He was being a very naughty boy.
He was always being a very naughty boy.
Okay,
That's what we loved about him.
Being a very chaotic evil boy. Was he chaotic evil? We never actually. He never actually like said what his alignment was.
Evil was definitely part of it. I can't remember what the other part was. I think he put himself as lawful.
Yeah, he was lawful evil.
Okay.
So
He was chaotic evil. Like you don't have to ask that question. Like how he's defining himself on paper doesn't really matter.
He had a code. This was one that sort of goes along the sort of the mainstream, the road most travelled.
I think it was more of a cipher than a code.
That's good. That's a good line.
Okay, so where do you think you find Rin within Barovia?
So we're starting in Barovia?
Within the bounds of Barovia.
Okay.
The town or the actual place?
Inside the mists.
You're within the bounds of the mists. Keep in mind the progress that you guys have made in the previous game.
I sort of see him wandering sort of like just sort of randomly between places, like not settling down in any of the towns or anything. It might just be just
a wandering.
He's a wanderer. He's a wanderer.
Where do you see him today?
Today.
You've got the town of Valaki, you've got the village of Barovia, you've got other undiscovered places that we hadn't been to with the previous group.
Is there like a sort of like hill peak sort of thing? Like I figured the highest point is going to be like the Strahd's castle, right? Or is it?
No, there are the peaks higher than the actual castle. There are high peaks off around this area here, and there is peaks up around here and up around this way as well. Because the whole of Barovia is sort of in a valley within mountains.
Well, you could have that if you wanted.
I'm thinking he was maybe like had journeyed to like the mountain peaks to sort of get a sense of the place, and maybe he's heading back to the town. Like I'm sort of thinking he's in Barovia with like a bit of a purpose, but doesn't really know where to start.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm thinking maybe he was getting a sense of the place and is like heading from the mountains back to where there might be other people, sort of thing. But
what do you have? What sense of purpose do you have there? Just that you've got the whispering of things are out of balance.
yeah, I think the idea, and it's how much you want to have include in. I think I was even going to go with he may have visions at certain points, whether they're accurate or not. I sort of like that idea, but I don't know, I'm not sure how going off page that is. But him knowing about the souls being captured in Barovia and that being like...
That could be that thing, an imbalance to deal with.
I like that idea. He's very much... It's sort of offensive to him that like the souls that like captured there are not rejoining the cycle of, death and rebirth or however that works out in thing. But I like the idea of a dead end in this place being sort of antithesis to what he's all about. So that's what he's sort of trying to get a sense of it. I also very much...
How long do you feel you've been within the bounds of the mist?
Maybe only like a week or two, sort of. He's just sort of getting... I also like the idea that he's very sort of easygoing about stuff and like not very concerned, but actually being in the mist is something that does legitimately concern him.
Yep.
Like the idea of being caught in the soul not rejoining the endless cycle is probably one of the few things that worries him.
Yep.
So he's gone into this with some level of intent. This isn't just sort of to, check the situation out of interest. There is some intent to maybe resolve it, if possible, to maybe break the cycle and be releasing some souls.
Yeah, I'm like, that's what I'm thinking. He is explicitly there to do a thing.
Mm-hmm. And if you've been there for a couple of weeks, means that you may have been already within the realms of the mist when the previous party was around.
Yeah, right. Okay. Wasn't sure what the time frame is going to be, how long we're lapsing and stuff, but yeah.
That's what we're establishing now.
Cool. Yep.
Okay, so heading towards Barovia. I forgot what your name is. Narlag?
Narlag Prosgino von Bigus, Esquire.
Gary. That happened real quick that time around. Apologize.
how do you think you find yourself within Barovia?
Um,
I've got a plan for you, so I'm not going to be asking you the same question.
So he is simultaneously evacuating Nova Roma while also trying to trade.
Yep.
And kind of need to run this past you a little bit more, but I figure he's kind of getting messages from Ygolinak.
Gesundheit.
Presumably through his familiar, that Ygolinak wants to possess a very powerful body, and Strahd matches the description.
Right.
So he needs to find some way to corrupt Strahd, and he knows to go to Barovia and imprison, capture, control, so Ygolinak can go in and just do his thing.
I'll play with that a little bit and say that you heard about Strahd, not your particular deity.
Fair enough.
Or your old god. You have heard of Strahd and his power and think this might be a fit. Not necessarily that you've been guided directly by your patron.
Yep.
Onto someone particular.
Fair
so
enough.
leave some space to work with.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Where do you find yourself?
So he's...
And you're trading, yes?
Yeah, he's trading. I'd say he'd be towards, like, the outskirts of the village of... Like, the actual village of Barovia.
Yep.
Somewhere where he can go out into the backwoods and, like, collect mushrooms and, you know, berries and stuff that he can try and make hallucinogens or brew some alcohol with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is the thing I was concerned about. Like, there's not... Like, it was real dumb for us to go into Barovia in the first place.
Yep.
Like, the old party. So it was like, there either needs to be, like, a very explicit reason for us to have gone in there, or, like, not knowing the... Not knowing the scope.
You have a purpose. He has a purpose.
Do I have a purpose? Are we going to find that out?
We will in a sec.
Yeah.
Let's find out together.
Okay.
D&D.
Yeah. Give me a second on your one, Trev. Okay. Let's have... So you're both around Barovia, so that the village of Barovia, that works. Okay. It's morning. Where do you find yourself? If you want... That's it. You've got the inn that's kind of within the middle. You have this building here was a actual merchant.
Yeah, I think he and his cart would be basically right outside the merchant's place. Like, so he would be able to trade with the merchant directly, and, you know, also find out where the local herbalist would be and all that stuff. Yeah. Cool.
Look, while you're at it, there is a woman crying. She's been at it for like 3 months now. if you can check in and just see what the hell is going on.
Just give her a glass of water. Surely she's running dry at this point.
I probably should actually. Yeah.
I was actually literally going to mention that since it was sort of
a plot point.
A big part of the previous one. The crying's not there.
Oh, thank God.
So you have no compulsion to check out that house as it currently stands.
Fair enough.
You walk past and think to yourself, there's a very quiet house. There is no crying coming from that building whatsoever. No. Why did I even think that? What an odd thing to think.
I like to walk past and goes, quaint.
Okay, where do you find yourself around Barovia today? Heading in, trying to find information, or are you...
Yeah, I think he's maybe like wandering in, maybe like sitting down in the square. Like, I would imagine his way of getting information is less about questioning people and maybe just like sitting down in a public place and just like passively watching.
Mm-hmm. Just well, you've got the sort of the crossroad that sort of cuts through the middle, which sort of sits right between the sort of the main thoroughfare from the inn as well as the merchant. Which I probably should have a name for.
I think it's less an active
Bill
search.
Draft's Mercantile.
Less an active search and more like he's just wandering like seemingly aimlessly, trusting in the ebb and flow of the universe to bring him where he needs to be.
Okay. So, it's about 8 in the morning. Probably one of the more sunny days you've seen in Barovia, in the fact that you can sort of see the actual shape of the sun above the clouds. Every now and then a peak of sunlight comes through and then disappears within the forest in the distance. There is a bit of coming and going from the from the inn. People going in, sort of getting a morning meal, and Bildrath is just opening up the door and starting to set up some of his wares outside. Parked nearby is I'm going to say fairly colourful cart. Or is it fairly?
Oh, it's fairly nondescript.
Fairly nondescript.
He likes to travel without drawing attention to himself.
Okay.
It's only when he's actually parked is when he's trying to draw attention to himself.
And you're sort of just going to settle down in the square and sit.
Sit.
Listen.
Maybe I don't have it in my. He maybe has like a begging bowl sort of thing. I'm picturing that might be a.
He sits there and
sits
a small little like a cloth down, sits down and has
sits down like cross-legged with his staff over his knees with a begging bowl in front of him, just like head down, sort of in the middle.
That's something that most people are not going to give eye contact to.
Yeah.
I can give eye contact with 5 eyes.
Okay, so you're sitting down there. Give me a perception check with advantage.
Been a while since I made rolls. What's my...
It has been some time since we've been playing D&D full stop.
Perception. I'm +6.
The +6 might help.
Yes. So 14.
14. Okay. What you get is you hear a couple of Vistani gentlemen. You've run into them just in your travels before. You've met a couple around. You're also familiar with the peoples just from your travels. You see a couple of them walking in, and they're talking with each other. It's just like those lads we brought in from Rome seem to have joined the march. And the other one turns over and is like, I thought those ones were going to be the ones to fix this place finally. But, well, fools rush in, I guess. And then they enter. You hear Bildrath come out and start talking to how would you describe yourself? Narlag.
Narlag is he's a hobgoblin. He's got pale orange skin, slick back hair. He's wearing a black shirt with a purple vest, a purple tie.
Mm-hmm. He's a dandy.
He is.
He's a bit of a dandy.
He is a dandy.
He's a fancy man.
He also has two-tone shoes, which are black and purple.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's got a theme, if you can't tell.
It's basically a Hobgoblin Leland, isn't it?
I didn't realise Leland was black and purple. I'm sorry.
I haven't really done it. I think Leland is more on the black. I think he just wears
black and black.
Simple black.
Two-tone black.
Yeah. I didn't describe Ren.
But, Narlag is being jovial and friendly and...
So yeah, Bildrath is because you, as far as I'm concerned, you've rocked into town recently, and basically just approached Bildrath going, I have things from out of town, what would you like?
Yeah.
And today is the day that you had lined up to actually bring some of your wares within town.
So he's standing basically, right next to his cart. There is like a chest that's just there, like ready to be loaded off.
Yep.
It's not open yet, but inside is various bottles of alcohol.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is it right, Mr. Lag?
Just call me Narlag.
Narlag.
Or Mr. Prozgino.
Yeah, still good Narlag. What you bringing into town for me today?
Well, I got several bottles of my own patent of whiskey.
Oh dear. Yep.
I believe you might like it quite well.
Maybe the alcohol you might want to try and present to the bar. They might have a bit more of a chance there. But you have have goods like cloths, any trade goods, bits and pieces like that.
I have various herbs and unguents if you'd like some.
Ooh, that's something I can deal with. What you got going?
I haven't actually thought of what exactly he has, but let's say this is the ingredients you use for healing potions and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. This could work out well. Yeah. Were you looking for trade of goods, or were you looking for coin?
Coin.
Coin. And he starts picking through the bits and pieces and grabs some herb packets and bits and pieces like that. Comes across one smaller sort of like tied off bag and is like, what's in this one?
It's one of my specialties. You can absolutely buy that if you like. It induces certain visions.
makes people very happy most of the time.
It's some sort of magic powder?
You could call it that.
I like Nalhag. He's slick.
And he sort of undoes the tie and opens it up, and this is like a purple dust.
Yeah.
This is the stuff in Elegant.
Oh, like crystals?
Yeah.
Feel free
yeah.
to have a sample if you like. But I would suggest maybe waiting until
he holds the bag in sort of his left hand and sort of and like puts his face near it, sort of wafts some of the fine dust that just sort of puffs out of it. Like, ties back off a little bit, and it's just like blinking unevenly a little bit. Like, whew.
Goes inside,
Whew.
like cuts up some fat rails.
I didn't realise that was the business you're in. People could use some distractions from life in here, so I think this, and shakes the bag slightly, could help. The old crones aren't around anymore delivering their pastries, so this could help.
Crones and pastries, you say? I might have to look into that.
There was an older lady, where everyone knew her as Granny. She'd come through and sell pastries in the night that help people take their mind off things and help them sleep. This place is oppressively sad at times.
Fair enough. Well, yeah.
This could be a something. Now, this is not going to be the sort of thing which I'm going to have a constant supply of, or is this?
He absolutely does. No, you're absolutely fine.
Right, and he's picking through. He's like, I'm going to give you 50 gold for the various herbs and bits and pieces. What are you asking for the special stuff?
What would be the average price in the other game?
We didn't actually do any of the selling
Okay,
part of it yet. That's literally a plot line that's not been concluded.
Okay. Well, assuming it's basically cocaine, and it sounds like there's a lot of it.
Cocaine.
We're
kicking off with a drug deal. Hello, folks.
About it.
Fantasy drug deals.
For that amount,
Where all your dreams come true.
let's say 100.
And he starts picking through his money. And like, I can do you 75 now and do the other 25 once I've actually passed some of this on.
Fair enough.
So you're looking at 125 that he's giving you now, and owing you another 25.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, across the crosswalk, or there the crossroads, you see this elven gentleman, sort of cross-legged, eyes closed, with a alms tin.
He's
sitting in front of him.
He's a very little elf.
Little elf.
he's slight but like sinewy.
Are we talking like Christmas elf? Or,
No, he's probably like
shoes that curl up at the toe.
Hi,
It's
I'm
adorable.
Elfo.
No. I'm picturing like he's not big and intimidating. He's like sort of slight on the small side, and he's shaved bald completely.
Yep.
And he's wearing like the sort of baggy pants and like the sort of more roby wrap sort of thing with like bandages around his hands and feet. I was thinking he would have like swirling tattoos sort of all over himself, but just very sort of fine.
Yep. Thick banding, sort of Kratos sort of stuff. We're talking.
No, like the I don't know how much this is getting into weird stuff. I was thinking like fine swirling tattoos and almost like a fractal sort of thing, where if you got a closer look, it becomes more and more complicated.
Yep, love it.
And yeah, he's got like the really extreme elven features, like not just sort of like fine features, but like the thing. You know, sometimes they do elves where they're like distorted to the point where they're looking almost alien.
Yep.
Getting into that territory, like really, really sharp pointed ears, and like
quite a sharp chin.
Yeah, and the eyebrows coming out to points either side of his head.
Yep.
Not quite blood elf level, but like
Getting there.
Yeah, like I'm like not like very, very pointy, very Yep. I like that was what sort of what I was thinking for the
Got
elaborate
an image.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was I've been thinking about it.
So yeah, you see this guy across the way, which is out of place.
Yeah.
The village is predominantly human.
What was the shopkeeper's name again?
Bildrath is his surname. Bildrath Cantemir.
Say, Mr. Cantemir, who's that gentleman over there? I don't believe I've seen him in town before.
That guy's been wandering around the area for a couple of weeks now. He just sort of, every few days he pops down and just sits tries to collect a few coins. It gets a few. Some people wander through feeling a little bit generous, but hasn't really talked to anyone, and I don't know where he goes after he's done here. Just sort of disappears a little bit off to the south.
Fair enough.
All that's off that way is mountains.
Yeah. He nods his head and finishes the deal and goes,
David, would you mind just watching the cart while I go about some business?
This is your familiar?
Yeah, sure thing, boss.
Oh, I love it. Do we have an image for your friend?
yeah, he's a gazer.
Oh my god. Oh, how does a tie attach?
Don't know.
It's like stapled underneath onto his chitinous plates.
And his little bowler hat.
You got a bowler hat on a...
Is it a fake mustache?
Yes.
He's incognito.
Don Incognito.
No, Don is Don Squiglione. The beholder who is actually his boss.
Oh god. Jesus Christ.
Hey, I've had plenty of time to come up with this guy.
Oh, fair enough. Okay.
Sort of like,
So you have
like,
your...
like
it's an observer, is that the name of it?
No, he... crap.
It's a gazer, right?
He's a gazer.
Gazer, sorry.
Yeah, Dave the Gazer.
There's so many different names for
variations on looking at stuff.
Yeah.
I like the idea if he was going incognito. He has like special beholder sunglasses.
It's just like a single frame.
Single one, and then little satellite ones hanging off the side.
So, yeah.
Well, no, all his eye stalks just sort of like all behind the single lens.
So he gets out his pimp cane and sort of does a swagger over and he's like,
Hello there, sir. How are you today?
I am very well, thank you for asking.
I've never seen one of your kind walking around in these parts before.
Oh, my kind are not from around these parts.
Do you mind telling me where you are from, sir?
I do not believe I'd be able to explain it in a way that would be satisfactory.
Try me.
I've been wandering for many years. I just happened upon this plane by chance, as it happened.
Oh, this plane.
should I, roll to see what I know what he means?
You can.
Cool. Would that be... Arcana?
No. Just got intelligence.
It's a 9.
It's a 9 total.
Yeah.
The concept of multiplanar system is kind of out there. People know that there are other planes. There are plenty of evidence of the Feywilds, and there is plenty of evidence of the levels of hell. They are different planes.
Yeah.
You don't have an in-depth knowledge. You just know there is more than one plane of existence.
And I would know that David comes from, out of the plains.
Well, I've never met someone aside from my shop assistant over there that is from another plane.
I've met many people from other planes. It's a fascinating thing.
I suppose to you I am from another plane, so...
Yes, that is what I was inferring. That is very sharp of you.
Tell me, sir, what is your name?
I am known as Rin.
Rin.
Yes.
That is a wonderful name.
Yes, thank you. I am very happy with it.
Oh, I'm loving this interaction so much.
Tell me, you don't seem like the kind who is living in squalor, yet you are begging.
Oh, the begging is just a reason for me to be sitting here. I have no need of material possessions. I left them behind long ago.
May I have your gold?
I actually do not have any gold at this point in time. You'd be more than welcome to it if I were to happen across any, though.
Very well.
Although, I do not know what I will be doing. If I do happen upon any gold, I don't know. I may have to... It will depend on the time. I'm not really sure what I'll be doing with it.
Very well. Tell me, would you like any tonics or liquids or unguents that you'd like to use?
Oh, I can smell those things that you are selling from over here, and I would not like to ingest any of them. Thank you for the offer, though, but no. Not at all.
That is a hard no.
Well, sir, I must say you are the first person who's ever said no to anything I have to sell.
I find that very difficult to believe.
You are a very singular man, sir. Elf, as the case may be.
Yeah, thank you. I am actually not an elf, and I would thank you not to call me one. I am of the Eladrin race. We are far beyond elves, as indeed elves are beyond, these mortal ken. But that is neither here nor there. I do not take pleasure in my race's innate superiority over the other races.
Oh shit! He's at peace at being a little bit of a racist.
My uncle just walked in the room. That was weird.
Oh. Is he looking Narlag straight in the face?
Yeah, you're talking. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
polite eye contact. Come on. We're not
I don't think he's polite.
We're not animals.
He's weird and off-putting.
He hasn't blinked.
Can I do a quick perception check to see if there's anybody that might be looking at me or any around me? Cool. So that is 15.
Dave is watching.
Aside from Dave.
We asked.
Can I do a perception check to see if I notice him checking if anybody's watching him?
That would be insight.
No.
Would that be deception from me?
That seems even a point of consideration.
No.
Okay. The fact that there is two non-humans in the middle of the crossroads in the centre of town is getting some attention. A couple of the Vistani, one of them that had walked in just previously, has actually sort of walked a couple of steps outside of the inn and is leaning against one of the posts next to the door and just watching. He's familiar with non-human. What was your
He is a hobgoblin by parent.
Hobgoblin and by parents currently, and for all intents and purposes, as everyone would just say, an elf.
Just a weird-looking elf.
Weird-looking elf. Familiar with hobgoblins. He's familiar with elves. He's not familiar with them being in the middle of Barovia.
Or talking to each other.
Fair
enough.
Or one that's as snappily dressed as this one is, or oddly dressed as you are for this area.
I'm imagining his robes are bright green as well.
Sure.
To blend in with the Feywild.
Yeah.
This is, theatre of the mind. You can be bright green.
Like a little bit like Hare Krishna's sort of thing. I'm getting a little bit of that image, but not orange, just like a bright green, standing out in that sort of way. Yeah.
You got the Shaolin monk angle going on here, which is,
it's in the name.
Yeah, it's why they call them monks.
Why they call them monks.
Oh, is that where that comes from? Oh, I get it. Yeah.
I thought it was after the TV show.
I'm thinking better of the decision I was going to make.
Which is what? Stab him?
No. No, I'm not going to say what I was going to do, but it was not stab.
Cool. The Vistani sort of wanders over to you guys and goes gentlemen?
Sir, how may I help you?
Rin just nods.
How do you find yourself in fair Barovia on this sunlit day? And he gestures with exaggeration towards the dim sky.
I walked here.
If by going from my friend Rin, his description of how we got here, I rode in on my horse and cart, but officially I am here for trade.
For trade, you say?
Excuse me. There must be some communication. We are not friends. We only just met. I do not even know this strange individual's name.
You have not asked me, sir.
That is correct.
Traditionally, it is very impolite to not ask one's name.
I have been told that before.
I'm getting a very clear picture of how this is going to play out the rest of the adventure. And I love it, Animan.
I love the fact that Rin is never going to learn this guy's name at any point. It's like, hey, you there, snappy guy.
He's almost.
You could just ask me my name. Yeah, I know. I can.
He's almost definitely going to say his name at some point in front of somebody else. Because I worked way too long in making that name to not say it more often.
I'm picturing Rin's thing is he doesn't need to ask your name. If he finds out eventually, then that's how that goes. He's not gonna like make ripples in the universe by forcing someone to tell him their name.
The name has power.
Oh yes, that's very true in this case.
But yeah, the Vistani's like
Ripples in the universe.
kind of digging into a little bit of our territory there, bringing in trade goods.
Well, I've found that not a lot of Vestanis tend to trade in the objects that I sell, so I figure that, there's not too much overlap.
Tell you what, lady, pop down to the camp when you get a chance, and we'll discuss to make sure there is no conflict of interest.
Sir, are you implying that I am trying to undercut you in any way, shape, or form?
Not implying, outright saying,
I do declare.
you're getting very southern very quickly.
Yeah,
You dropped out of, New York thug into southern plantation owner very quickly.
I do believe I have the vapors.
I like with your character that just like you know the thing where it's really hard to like keep an accent and like he's a changeling. So, like, you just shifting between accents randomly sort of works.
Yeah, it is actually a great plot device for, not being able to hold an accent, because it is difficult.
because I can't fucking hold an accent.
No, it's great.
It's
No,
great.
no. Yeah, like I get it. Like, but it is because I can't fucking hold an accent.
It's right. The last game we played was shifting between accents all the way through it. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
But flat out telling you, or flat out saying, I recommend that you pop down to the camp, talk to the boss, and we'll just make sure there's no crossover or no conflict.
And if there is a conflict?
And we settle the conflict.
Interesting.
I'm assuming this is your first time in as well.
In Barovia? Yes, it is.
Interesting.
I am very much aware that no one can escape Barovia unless Strahd dies.
What is your plan for trade then? If this is a very short trip, one transaction sort of deal. If that's the case, I don't think we're going to have too many issues.
I have my own methods. I appreciate your concern.
Around lunchtime, you can meet us down the camp. We're just a little bit out the way, along the river. Meet us down there.
I may do, but, well, I'm a busy man.
I can see. Not on the side of the Vistani starting off.
Someone comes and threatens his business. He's not like he's going there under the cover of night and killing everything.
Jesus Christ. And he sort of looks at you and like, so just walked in. I get that it's easy to just walk down the road, but why would you?
I am where
This place has a reputation.
It does indeed. I have heard this thing. I am where the universe wills me to be.
And he just looks at you like he has no idea how to respond to that.
I feel like that's going to come up a lot too.
It's mostly because Ryan doesn't know how to respond to that.
Sorry, this character's weird, right?
I know. I think I'm going to get a handle on it, but it's going to take a session or two.
He's weirdly passive and capricious.
Yes. Yes. Does the universe have a plan for you?
Well,
Because plans don't have a habit of working out well here.
the universe has a plan for everything. That is the point.
It is the point, but that rule hasn't applied here for some time.
Yes. Yes, I understand that to be the case. It is a shame. It is actually a great travesty on a cosmological proportion. Hopefully we'll be able to arrest that matter of fact.
So do you have aspirations for fixing the situation here? To use your stylings to restore the balance?
I try not to keep aspirations. I find them to be a folly.
You have written yourself a challenging character to keep going.
Sorry.
It's like, well, if you're not friends with this fellow, perhaps...
Are you
perhaps we
hoping to murder him later? I would very much like to be there while this happens.
If that's the case, come slightly after lunch.
Okay, thank you.
I'm gonna roll insight and see if he was actually wanting to kill me.
Sure, roll it.
That's a natural 20 plus 4.
Deep.
There is a potential if that meeting doesn't go well, he's going to try and kill you. They don't like competition. They have a good thing going here. Perhaps
You
if
are a curious and invasive fellow.
You seem to be the mirror of that. But I believe if you have aims won't say aspirations because, again, they are folly. If you have intentions to help, we might be able to help you out as well. So long as you're not
That is interesting.
in assistance for this gentleman. Or, of course, if his dealings are legitimate and non-competitive, we have no power with him.
I shall have to consider this matter. Thank you for your time.
Yes, but anytime you want to pop down, come down and ask for Madame Ava. She will help you out.
Thank you.
No worries. Okay. Now we pop over to Waiyu.
Hey, that
Why
guy.
Why you?
Waiyu is in one of the main library in Neverwinter.
Oh yeah.
He's been studying there for some time. It has been.
They're not as cool. The books there aren't as cool as his book.
It is basically.
Less sticky though, which is kind of nice.
He spent some time out, essentially adventuring.
Spend some time with his book.
It has some pretty distasteful parts to it. The quiet in the library, researching some of the books written by some of the great academics and great achievers within wizardry, is a little bit more his pace. Yeah, so you are in Neverwinter, in Faerun.
That's a different place.
That's a different place.
That is a
entirely
different place entirely to where the rest of the group is currently. How would you spend your day?
I don't know. I'm entirely unprepared for this.
Pilates.
Get up at about 7, have a piece of toast, do my Pilates. I don't know. I had him as sort of the like in the middle of sort of a wandering adventure. So if he's in, there would be a point to it. He would be looking for something. So it would be some pretty dedicated research. There would be a lot of reading of Dusty Tomes.
Has he finally grown a beard?
Thank you for asking.
Aww.
Thank you for asking. Yes, he finally has. There may be something to that.
So you're illusion school primarily,
Yeah.
aren't you?
What I had for him was that on his trails and adventures, he has been sort of seriously adding to the book, and leaned into cataloging the natural world and
Best ways to conflagrate them.
Yep. The best and the quickest way to remove the faces of various things that he encounters.
Okay, so you have spent some time travelling since Faerun, and then every so often popping back, cataloguing items, updating your scrapbook. And then
Do that thing where you put something under a piece of paper and then rub the piece of paper with a pencil to try to transfer it, doing that with faces to copy them into.
Yep. So you're doing.
You've got like between two pages like a fairy squish flat.
Exactly that. Thank you for being on board with this. Yes.
You have pretty widely explored sort of the area sort of around Neverwinter. So you've gone off into the forests around the area, so you've got a fairly good idea of this region. A lot of the research you're doing now is following basically the similar paths that some other adventurers and a lot of other wizards especially have gone, looking for new experiences, new things. So you're looking, so you're looking through some of the tomes of I'm going to pronounce it wrong. Elminster? Is that the name of
Elminster?
Elminster, that's the one. And Mordekainen. You're looking through some of their tomes, some of because they have been, extra planar and they have traveled wide.
They're wizards.
Elminster is
Like me.
literally the wizard so powerful he got himself made the consort of a god.
So you're looking at these and sort of peering through and seeing reports of a continent in the south that is tropical, that is called Chult. You've which is full of giant reptiles, dinosaurs essentially, and cat people and all these bits and pieces. You've got reports of other areas that I've got to try and remember in Forgotten Realms that I've already forgotten. That's in the name. But different regions where different creatures, different peoples.
Yeah. He would be fascinated by reading that, and would find sort of the areas of that research that are lacking, and would sort of use that as something of an excuse to go out and sort of follow in the footsteps, find those people in those places, and add to the previously
one
written
of the
tomes.
things that you get there's sort of a common theme for a lot of these sort of planar travellers is you hear of a city called Sigil.
Sigil?
Sigil.
Sigil.
It's a game, right?
Planescape. It's in that setting.
Yeah.
With the Queen of Blades.
I have no idea what any of this is.
It's a city of portals, city of keys.
Okay.
It seems to be a hub point for travel to other places.
Yeah.
It seems to be sort of the common thread for most of these guys that have gone into Planar is they've gone to Sigil first.
Yeah.
And then bounce from there.
Baller. I like this. So I haven't been there yet.
No.
Okay.
Your research is now sort of getting you to the point where you feel prepared to try and get to Sigil. Give me some sort of roll for research. Let's go for investigation or Arcana.
Arcana. Oh, okay. Well, you may have to sort of backpedal and
You rolled a 1.
yeah.
1 plus.
8.
So, okay.
But it's a 1.
Yes, it is. Okay.
And I don't re-roll ones anymore. Man, I wish I could.
So you
Boy,
are
howdy.
you are picking through a series of tomes, and it seems to be that the common theme for first-time teleportation to other places is to focus on an individual.
Okay.
Or an individual point of interest within
Right. Okay.
Where you
Within like where you're trying to get.
where
to.
you're going to.
Yeah. All right.
Like if you want to get to someone in particular, you can basically drop into, not right next to, you're not going to like appear next to them and go sup. It's going to be, you're going to be within that plane of existence.
Yeah.
Roughly in the area where they exist. Or you're going to, if you focus on a, you say some statuary in Sigil, you'll, especially in Sigil, you'll appear through the gate that comes from the Faerun plane, and you'll walk into Sigil through that gate.
Say again.
Sigil has, so from your readings of Sigil, it has gateways that take you to other planes of existence.
Yeah.
It also is a way to, it's a transit hub of a city.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you're not moving between planes directly. You are coming out of one into sort of this area. It's the it's the waypoint.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's Grand Central Station.
Yeah. It's an entire city and it's an entire plane.
So it's occupied. There are people that
yeah.
live there.
Oh, yes.
Cool.
There's entire game settings around Sigil.
You do not want to piss off the person who runs it.
The game or the city?
The city.
Okay.
Also,
Yeah.
or both,
Planescape
really.
Torment is a game that's been around for years. That's based
Okay.
in Sigil.
I've never heard of any of this.
It's a pretty dang good one. It's a similar ilk as like the Baldur's Gate games.
Oh yeah, I know vaguely of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so you, with your total of 8, on a 1, you find a series of tomes, and they give you instructions on how to do this teleportation. Within the sort of the restricted area of this library, there is actually a teleportation circle that you can use, that you have access to.
Yeah.
So,
I actually
You
have
ready to
dimension. I actually have dimension door as well, so it's not like outside of the outside of my knowledge.
Yeah. You ready to go?
Yeah,
Pack
yeah,
toothbrush.
yeah. Got like a little travel kit
You got a
with
clip.
me at all times. Yep.
You sent a message to Harkiel and Spintax.
Just to check in with the boys.
Yeah.
It's right, they're already dead.
Yeah.
Everyone died.
Okay. That's,
They're in.
you got a taste for that now.
I got a taste for it now. I'm just killing everyone.
Hakiel lives on in our hearts, though.
And your book.
I was going to say, they're in the book now.
You've got one of his horns hanging off your belt.
No.
Every now and then, just sort of flip
I'm
to the back
happy
of the
for
book
you
and start
to-
talking to Hakiel's face.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Just let me die.
No.
Kill me.
But no, you can send a message off to your previous traveller companions and Let him know you might be.
Yeah, I imagine that if he's sort of bumping around a fair amount and traveling, not just between towns, but between sort of realms or planes or anything, that we check in and let everyone know that he's going to be gone for a while. Won't be answering his messages. Out of office message.
Send him a postcard.
Someone feed my cat. Okay, so you head up to the teleportation circle. It's a large. It is basically it's a like a marble floor, and inset is like brass and silver, like inset into the stone. It's just causing this, creating this large circle. And standing within, you're flicking through the book and basically start the incantation. And probably going to get a fairly similar feeling as like they're teleporting through the ley lines.
You take some drugs.
Well, less of that part.
Check.
More like you.
And then I play D&D.
You sort of feel like you're being pulled forwards while being completely stationary. You've done Dimension Gate before. This is sort of an extreme sensation of that.
Yeah, okay.
And all of a sudden, you are thrown out of the other end of this transport, and you're about 40 feet off the ground and dropping. You've just been popped out into space.
40 feet is a bit.
It's got to be some damage
Unless
you have some way of dealing with said damage.
Yep, I'm going to scream out, bugger!
And then take damage.
Shit!
I imagine this is not the first time that this particular thing has happened.
You got a spell for that?
To the point where I get a spell for that.
Pitiful.
Oh, damn it. Jeez, do I?
Did I prepare it? Oh no!
Oh god!
No.
No.
I didn't, but I do. I have something. I have something else.
You have Dimension Door?
You have a minute.
I do, but I
Before I
also.
roll these dice.
It's gonna be you roll the character, and the first thing that's gonna happen is Ryan's gonna fucking kill it.
It's only 4.
You really do have a taste for this now, don't you? You've got blood. You got the blood in your mouth, and you just want to kill all of us.
Oh wait. Oh, I do. That's a bit in my tongue.
Shit, I
30
don't.
seconds.
I don't actually have any of that prepared. Now all I've got I can summon. Can we fudge the casting time for something? I don't want to die right off the bat here. This is gonna be a hard time.
Fine.
I got Phantom Steed. Casting time for Phantom Steed is 11 minutes, but
It's only 9 damage.
it's fine.
Ow. Bang my knee.
Oh, right, a fresh tattoo. Right, a fresh tattoo. That's leaving mark.
And you're basically you're on your side, just basically rubbing a sore part of your leg. It is sort of the side of a hill, just up further up. You can sort of see the sort of beyond the alpine area. It's in the actual snow cap of a mountain. It's just rocky and snowy.
This isn't where I was planning to be.
No, this is not.
You're not in.
Not just 40 feet above where I was supposed to be.
You're not in Kansas anymore.
And you are running through what you were doing before everything, and you're going through the list. You're focusing on sigil. You're focusing on where you needed to be.
Check to make sure all your parts teleported with you.
No.
Damn it!
And you I'm going to continue with that total roll of 8. You can't work out where you've gone wrong, but all around you, you basically just you've grey sky, snowy mountain. You are just within the alpine area of the of this mountainside, so there's actual sort of pine trees and everything like that, but nothing sort of more than that. Down the hill, you can sort of make out a valley. It's very shady because it's all overcast. You can see a few villages, a large lake, a river connecting. There's basically sort of running east to west.
Can I roll to see if I have any how much I know about where I am, plane of existence? If I know sort of where the
Check the GPS.
You can try.
Magic GPS.
Oh, that's a good one. That is going to be 18. plus whatever that would be.
Certainly not sigil. Sigil is reportedly warm. This is not. You're also not too far off the snow line of a mountain, so it's going to be on the colder side anyway. You are looking at it, and you're not on the same plane that you were on before. You're not in the material plane where Faerun is based. You're in a different material plane.
New plane, who dis?
So a material plane, but not the material plane
That you're familiar
that
with.
I was expecting. Okay.
This is... Sorry?
He's living in a material world.
And he is a material girl.
Gonna be
No more than 30
humming that for the rest
seconds.
of the adventure.
You're definitely in another material plane. You're not in any of the elemental planes or any of the ones. You're not in the Feywilds,
Yeah.
clearly, because the sun's mostly blacked out. But at the same time, you're not in the Shadowfell or the Far Realms or anything like that, because there is a little bit of sun and you haven't been stabbed yet.
It's a good
Doing
sign.
well so far.
It's a good sign.
Right. As far as fuck ups go, this is a good one.
Okay, all right. I think he's gonna
Note down what you just did.
plop
Don't do
down
that again.
exactly that. Go through everything that sort of happened and put a big circle around it and a big cross through it and go. All right, we've learnt a lesson today. Whatever that was, don't do it again.
You are sort of sitting trying to get your bearings, and then at a certain point you hear the sound of like a heavy lock and a wooden door start to sort of creak open. But you're on the side of a hillside. You spotted no doorway, nothing like that whatsoever. You just sort of all of a sudden just get shoved forwards as this heavy wooden door hits you in the back. Roll a dex save. Is that whichever one it is?
A dex save is going to be 16.
16. You sort of, do that whole sort of stumble forward, like you got knocked forward with no real warning as to what's going on. You managed to keep your feet, but you basically like stumble forward nearly 10 feet. You look back and you see this doorway that's open in the middle of nowhere, and this older gentleman, bald head, and he's just got this wooden bucket, and it's got like soap suds and everything at the top of it, and he just like flings out the door, and then sort of walks back inside, shuts the door, and the door just disappears again.
As soon as like hit in the back and sort of stumble forward a little bit, once he's like regained his balance and momentum, he'll go into like a ducking roll and come out of that, turned around on the other side, like shaha, and ready to cast. So he's sort of standing there crouched, sees that, and then okay.
Yep, because you're now just looking at the mountainside.
And it's gone again.
gone.
And it was literally just a dude, bald-headed dude, door open, throws a bucket of soapy water out,
Basically,
and
dishes
then door
soapy
closed.
water, and then closes the door again.
Okay. That's fucky. Some fucky's going on here. Wander over and like poke at the soapy water is still there.
Roll investigation.
Yep. Oh, come on, dude.
Can't read all those ones, can you?
You tried drinking it.
They're getting right.
Stare directly into puddle of water and go, wow, the puddle disappeared.
You're sort of poking around it, and like you can just sort of smell like just that smell of like kitchens, of someone cleaning up in a kitchen. Is the smell of sort of soap, then the fats and everything with it, and it's sort of.
I'll cast detect magic on it. Make sure, like is this an illusion? Is any of it an illusion? Is everything just an illusion?
Yeah.
Give
That's
me
the nature
a
of
sec
reality.
on that.
How can our
wow.
dreams be real if our eyes aren't real?
Jesus Christ!
Everything, like, reality is just a hologram created by two intersecting planes of light.
Is this a written truth, or is this something?
No, that's true.
That's true.
That's how it is. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about.
Have you heard about how that is like the best information that we have is that our entire universe is a hologram?
Yeah.
I don't understand that. I don't understand.
I thought it was that it was a simulation.
Well, there's also that. There is also, like, statistically, we are a simulation. Like, if it ever becomes possible...
To accurately simulate the universe.
Yeah, then we, by definition, wouldn't be the one simulating it. We would be the ones in the simulation.
Okay, so you're casting Detect Magic?
Yeah.
Okay. You're looking down at the soap suds. There's nothing innately magic about those.
Regular suds.
Just soapy suds. There's a couple of like chunks of onion in there from whatever the pots have been. Bits of
But
not magic onion.
Unmagic onion.
Magic,
Okay.
just mundane onion.
All onions are magical. I'll shut up.
I feel like we're going to have a version of like Haki's little truth bombs. But it's just going to be like, that's not really philosophical. You're just saying it in a tone of voice.
But yeah,
Aren't we all though?
Oh God.
Are we?
Isn't everyone just speaking in a tone of voice?
Oh shit.
Isn't
Kill
I
me.
think I've just worked out what our interaction is going to be here.
But yeah, you look up, as you look up from this, rapidly cooling and draining away pool of soap suds. You look up and see sort of this shimmering outline of a large ornate set of doors,
Right. Okay.
but that you can see through and past them as well.
Yeah. All right. So the detect magic picked up the whatever the hell that was. Okay. Okay. So magic. That was definitely magic. I mean, sort of guessed that going in, but all right. We got some information here.
And
Do I get anything from that? Because that's like detecting the school.
the school
of
is conjuration.
conjuration. Okay.
come across the scary door? Turns out it's man.
You're Hitler,
Okay.
Everyone's Hitler.
and you're on the wing.
All right. Jumping back to the village. Heading towards lunchtime. Are you going to show your face down at the village?
Fuck it, why not? Like,
As you're packing up your cart and stuff, Rin's just gonna wander over.
How can I help you?
I would like to accompany you when you go to meet those Vistani today.
Is there any particular reason why?
It seems like it would be interesting, and I would like to see it.
All right. Do you know anything about driving horses?
No. I generally walk places.
Would you like to know?
Not especially.
Oh god. I just love and hate this guy so much.
I think it would make an interesting conversation piece while we're on our way.
You want me to touch your horses?
No? I'll just tell you how one drives horses.
I don't find that to be very interesting, but okay. If that pleases you,
It's more interesting than talking to you, sir.
that is understandable.
Jesus Christ. Oh, the tension. Oh. Alright. So you're having him drive.
no, he's sitting like right next to me on the sort of stagecoach
Yep.
like seat thing, and I'm just like explaining how one like drives horses.
How is your reaction to this?
He's nodding. He's nodding along.
Are you actually listening?
No.
No, not at all.
He's listening, but he doesn't care.
Okay.
He's not really taking it in. He's like I'm imagining him being like just innately observant all the time. Like he's always watching and on the lookout. It's like he's on a swivel, but he doesn't care.
You wouldn't be playing on your phone, but you would be throwing out the occasional, yeah, oh, yeah, okay, wow, yeah, crazy, yeah.
Like he like you're telling him about how to drive horses, and like he's like, I'm never going to drive horses. This is not a skill that I need to learn. I don't need to be taking these notes.
Nalek knows this. He just wants you to not talk to him, and he's just filling the air with him talking instead.
Oh god. Alright.
So how much
when
is
we're-
Rin aware that this is like
I'm
awkward?
going to try and keep observation on just the general vicinity as soon as we're out of sight of just people.
Probably
let-
none.
let me-
Probably not aware at all.
Okay. It's about about 20 minutes, you're actually sort of out of sight of the village, and you've got about another 20 minutes before you hit
He has no deception, so
the camp. So you're about
he's trying
halfway
to like
there.
this is like sincere. This isn't putting
First
on
off,
an act.
I'm casting
Yeah.
mage armor.
Okay.
Second off, I go, hey, Ren, want to see something cool?
Very much so.
Well, I've got this very special technique. And he just morphs his heads into Ren's.
I thought you couldn't make yourself look like other people.
Yeah, I can do that.
But it said in the changeling stuff, you can't look like other people.
No, you can't look like somebody you haven't seen.
Oh. Okay. That is very amusing.
Yes, it is.
Oh no! Oh no!
Hello, my name is Ren.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Can't do that.
Find us a way out of this loop.
What is your name?
You can transform your appearance, including height, weight, facial features, and the sound of your voice, coloration, hair length, sex, and other distinguishing features, or revert to your natural form. You can't duplicate the appearance of a creature you have never seen.
Oh. I misread that. I thought it was you couldn't like disguise yourself as people. You just could look different. But no, I read bad.
Okay, so you.
That is very amusing. I look very nice in your fancy suit.
This is true. If you would like, I can get you a suit very much like mine.
No, I am fine with my robes.
Very well.
But thank you for the offer.
You are welcome.
Oh no.
Is this what I was doing to you guys with Correct all that time? I am so sorry.
Okay. 20 more minutes pass. I'm assuming you're maintaining this.
No. He's back into Nutlag.
Okay. Alright, so
I have never seen a hobgoblin able to do this. I assume you're not a hobgoblin. That's very interesting.
No, I am a very special hobgoblin.
That's very interesting.
He's not contesting it.
Oh god. Alright.
I'm imagining like Rin's seen a lot of weird shit in the world, and this is just like, huh.
That will go in the list of weird things.
The universe continues to surprise me.
There's going to be some
Really
especially
eternally
boring
surprised.
thing at some point to balance this out.
Yes. Like this ride. This is very interesting. It contrasts nicely with the at-length discussion about horses from earlier.
So, anyway, when it comes to repairing a horse's wheel...
Oh god.
Sorry,
Horses don't have wheels.
I meant to say horse carts.
What'd you do to that poor horse?
Oh, and then flash forward, it's just like a horse with front two legs and all. The back two legs are like those ones where they give to dogs when they got back problems.
That might work actually really, really well.
No, because all their power comes from their rear legs.
Oh,
Stop
dang it.
that thought.
Lamp's getting away.
All right, then. Nutlag. We're just trying to get into character voice.
Okay. Oh, I thought that was actually like in character. Just remind yourself who you are.
He's sort of a Pokemon.
Nutlag. What do you want?
Oh my god, you actually had doing the Meowth voice as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Meow.
It's not far off. Okay, so you roll up to the edge of the Vistani camp, which I think I actually have that for. There we go. That's the layout.
Ooh, looks like a spiral.
But yeah, so you're sort of rolling in from the actual main road heads across that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then these guys are...
Is that just a 30-foot sphere?
Sorry?
Is that a 30-foot sphere
Oh dear.
total?
Oh dear.
Each square is 10 feet.
Yeah,
Asking
that
for
says
specific
30,
measurements.
that says 20, that says 10. Like, I'm just wondering because like there's actual measurements on there. I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah.
Yeah.
When a spellcaster asks for specific measurements of a sphere, I always get concerned.
Oh, I'm not going to do anything. It's just there's
How big
numbers
is the
there.
inside of the windmill?
There's numbers there, and I want to know what they mean.
How big is this area? I just want to know from my...
How many cubic feet?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how many gelatinous cubes do you think it could fit in here?
how likely is it that they could all survive radiation?
Oh god. Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Okay. So yeah, you rolling up to there, and it's a little bit before lunch, so you've kept to the timing.
Mhm.
The one that talked to you in town sees you coming and sort of walks up to us like, not a coward in the end.
I very much dislike the notion that I'm a coward.
Your kin would normally be.
I'll have you know, hobgoblins are very well known for being industrious and militaristic. We are not known for running from fights.
On their own, though. Sorry, I'm just thinking goblins, not hobgoblins. My bad.
Yeah, no, hobgoblins are
the exact opposite of regular goblins.
yeah, they're the Roman legionnaires.
Yeah. Sorry, I got my races confused.
I believe you're thinking of the other goblins.
My mistake. You can leave your cart there. I guarantee you it'll be fine.
Fair enough. I have a watcher here who will make sure it's fine.
Do you expose Dave to the sunlight? Or to the...
Dave just
Civilians.
pokes one of his eyes out and goes, "Sure thing, boys."
Okay. The guy's like, oh. Okay, that's weird. Follow me along. And Rin, you, despite previous appearances, seem to have followed along.
I am merely here as a curious observer. Pay me no mind.
I wish I could.
I just got the Inquisitor from Venture Brothers in my head.
Ignore me! Ignore me! If I will complicate your business here, I am happy to leave if that would be your preference.
Not at all. But I didn't expect you to roll up with our friend here.
He insisted that I travelled in his cart. I didn't really want to.
I'm realizing who you're reminding me of now. Luna Lovegood.
Yeah, it's a bit that.
Yeah.
Just the speech pattern, there's just a matter-of-factness. And it's a good one.
It's a bit Corric as well. I'm realizing that it's landing in general Corric territory, but you know.
But one of us has to be, apparently.
There can only be one. Do you
Always,
follow along?
always there.
He's leading you to
person
a
irritated by a Corric.
He's gonna follow along.
yeah. He's leading you to a enclosed cart. Sort of colourful fabrics in the windows. Leads you up to the steps behind. It's like, go on in and talk with the lady and make sure everything is good to go.
All right. Are you coming along, Ring?
Yes, I believe I will. This is fascinating, and I'd like to see how it plays out.
Very well.
So you get led into a. you get pointed into the cart. You head in. It's appointed for living. It's not a sort of stocked cart. Tables and everything are all set up in there. There's several candles around just lighting it up. There is an elderly woman on the other side of a round table too. We've already done.
Yeah, we already did that.
We've already done the whole description of
How it looks.
Madame Ava's tent.
Yeah.
She signals for you to take a seat on a couple of large cushions on the floor.
Narlik does so. Just so like DM is aware, the Gazer, as long as he and I are on the same plane of existence and within 1 mile of each other, we just share senses all the time.
It's a familiar thing. You wouldn't understand.
I'm very familiar with it.
You.
Always.
He has telekinesis.
Ew. So many stalks.
Madame Ava's like, one of my boys tells me that you're trying to muscle in on our trade arrangement we have.
I never said anything about muscling in on anyone. I'm a humble trader of potions and brews and unguents and all more forms of alchemy.
Alchemy. Okay. And she starts going through essentially like a laundry list of the things that they bring in. Some wines. They do provide some wines to the thing. Adds a bit of a different flavour to the Wizard of the Vines vineyard that is in there. These are some more of the other sort of import wines, so not really a direct competition, more of an expansion of the flavours. She also talks about like fabrics, various different spices. A couple of those are ones that you are you are familiar with and do pop up into your things.
Yeah.
Because all of these things have multiple uses. Some of them are used as, basically to make some of the more vile potions taste a little bit more palatable.
Yeah. Oh, like, healing potions would use turmeric.
Yeah. And everyone loves nutmeg for all its various uses.
I've never used it.
Well, I'm just like, she's saying, like, she brings in nutmeg because of its various uses within herbology, alchemy, and within just, the preservation and longevity of meats. Super interesting. But yeah, there's a few points there where you have some crossover, but it's mundane items.
Yeah.
But it's just like, do you have any intentions of bringing in any of our valued commodities? Cloths, wines.
Anything that might be of alcoholic would be of my own brewing.
That seems doable as long as the bartender is willing to continue purchasing it at the same rate that he has been from us.
If you're willing, I'll happily sell or even provide just a couple of bottles to your camp.
I'm pretty sure that was going to be an assumed part of this arrangement anyway.
Mutual exchange of goods and services.
But I have a question for you. How are you planning to maintain your trade arrangement?
With
trying to do this more than once. Do you have some sort of way of returning to some location and regaining merchandise?
Well, I can make a lot of my own stuff, but I have methods of communicating with the outside world.
That would be a rare gift. But does that communication get goods in?
It can get in contact with those who may be able to get goods in. I haven't tested it yet, but I have enough supplies to last me a few weeks at least.
How much do you know about Barovia? About this fair country you've decided to set up your mercantile interests?
You can't get out. Souls will be trapped here.
So a fair bit.
Yeah. Not to the extent of, like, the Howl.
But
like...
at least the stories of people going in and not really coming back.
And he knows the Vistani can get out.
Okay.
Because, he would have encountered them while trading.
How do you intend to continue your own trade arrangements?
That remains to be seen.
Well, as far as we're aware, the only way you can get out is either be one of us, which you are not, or fix this place.
I believe we should fix this place, if that is at all an option.
Quiet one speaks.
Yes, I've been able to for some time.
Much to my dismay, I might add. I should probably mention that more trade is better, and you seem to be legitimate business people, and I am a legitimate businessman. And
I've been waiting for you to use that particular phrase. I'm a legitimate businessman.
So you have...
Practitioner of the mercantile arts.
So yeah, unless you suddenly become a Vistani, I can see the only way of you continuing your career as a travelling merchant would be to repair the ills of this land, which is not a small ask, and many have died in the attempt.
Alternatively, you could transform yourself into one of the Vistani.
And she looks quizzically at you.
Like, Madam Ava, is this room insulated from scrying?
No.
May I do...
That's a weird fucking question.
May I do the honours of trying to insulate this room from scrying?
She looks at you as like, who would be watching you?
Well, I do know that Strahd is a very powerful caster.
Also, I am watching.
What do you know of Strahd, stranger?
Only that I would like to take possession of his body.
She looks at you really quizzingly, like, I'm assuming that you're talking about killing him. This has been a lofty goal of many people for 400 odd years. Have you bear witness to the grand march of the souls?
I have.
That is only a small fraction of those that have died trying.
Trying.
But it could be lucky this time. Fate may have a plan for you.
Strahd is very likely to come down while I am here.
What would he find so interesting about you?
Not down here, I mean down. As in, I'm going to probably be taking him down.
It's going to be hard to maintain that voice for a while, isn't it?
I think I might just go with the southern drawl because it's a lot easier to do, and then just go the sure thing, boys. For
Yep.
The southern drawl's fun.
Yeah.
It is a much more fun accent to do.
I do declare it is. It is very much more fun.
So we don't have competition as far as it goes for the trade. And it appears our other intentions seem to have aligned. Do either of you believe in the cards?
There are many things in my life that I did not previously believe in, and I have seen the light on those, so by all means.
And she does the card reading from before.
Rin's like, oh, it is adorable that you think you can predict the nature of fate using a children's game.
Let's see if the results convince you otherwise. But this will give you some intelligence into the whereabouts of some items to help you take down Strahd, where you will find him, as well as an ally.
So it's the same reading as last
I'm
time.
running with the same reading.
Cool.
Because that world has already progressed along certain paths. And it's very hard to wind back time as well. Unless we always wanted to start afresh.
Can't put the shit back in the duck.
That is one choice of the phrase. The toothpaste back in the tube is another way of saying that. It's not quite as disgusting.
Or as fun.
I guess it really depends on how you put the toothpaste back in the tube. Before or after using. Going back to the mountainside.
That's you.
There's me.
You are in front of the glittering sort of outline of two wooden doors. You can see through them. You can see the mountain on the other side. The doors don't appear to attach to anything.
2 doors.
Double doors.
Right, okay. Did, just roll for Arcana, just to see if I can determine...
At this point here,
their nature?
yeah, Arcana, because you've established the...
The magic?
Yeah.
Definitely know. That is a 6 plus 8, so 14.
It's reasonable to say that this is a obscured doorway into either a pocket dimension or another area. But your experience with that sort of thing is, unless you know how to actually open it, or is opened by the original caster for you,
Yeah.
you're not going to get through it.
Yeah, okay.
You got to ring the buzzer.
Or cast Dispel Magic.
Alright. I'd know enough not to even attempt to try to force the door open. But by all accounts, I mean, that doorway seems unrelated to... I teleported. I had intention to teleport. Certainly didn't come through that set of doors anyway. My entry was a lot more dynamic, 40 foot above the terrain.
Dynamic entry.
And as far as trying to teleport back to where I started, that's a non-starter as well. Yeah?
You need a teleportation circle.
And I don't currently have one of those.
No, you're plumb out of teleportation circles in the area.
Other pants. Left them in my other pants.
Well, also like the several years it takes to create one.
No, it just takes 1 year.
In this current area, it's going to take more than 1 year.
No, fair enough.
But because you'd have to actually find the supplies and everything like that as well. It takes a year to create one.
Yeah. You have to spend 1,000 gold every day.
Yeah, they're not cheap or easy. So, what are you doing?
I mean, he'd poke around the door for a while. Do some various checks and investigations, and sort of note down anything of interest.
Things you notice at roll me investigation.
That is 16.
16. You sort of get up near the doors, and as you sort of try and touch the area where it is, your hand passes through sort of the shimmering light of the doorway, and your hand is essentially through this sort of lit up area and back out the other side. Like you're not getting any physical or haptic feedback or anything along those lines.
Yep.
You're able to sort of walk all around it, and as you go around the back side of it, it looks like you're looking at the front again.
Yeah.
It's like 2D plane, but as soon as you go on the other side, it's just looking at the same 2D plane, switched around as if it's still facing you directly.
Yep.
Normally, it's not the mirror image of it; it's the same plane.
Cool. Am I of the impression that anyone else wouldn't necessarily be able to see this? Like, I've detected magic on it, and being a caster anyway, am I seeing something that
Your
other people wouldn't see?
particular skill set and the fact that you saw it where it was before gave you a bit of an advantage to sort of see what's going on here.
Yeah.
That's why you can even see it at this point. If you just happen to be like halfway down the hill and cast Detect Magic, you'd have to be really lucky
Yeah.
to stumble upon this.
Okay. Yeah, look, once I've sort of exhausted the investigation opportunities, I'm not going to take a crack at doing anything with it. So sort of look around and go, well, shit. Now what?
From the area where the door is, you start hearing this sort of booming voice. Crawl back to your Dark Master.
Pardon?
You think I'm weak? You think my magic is nothing? Be gone, foul beast.
Me? Are
Yes, you fool.
Oh, all right. And you are... I'm sorry, I think you have me mistaken for someone else.
Who do you think you talk to?
Literally don't know. I'm sorry. We've got off on the wrong foot here.
Damn it.
Why are you? Why are you little? And you are... Where is this coming from? Is this coming from the
emanating from where the doorway
Yeah.
is sort of shimmering in front of you.
like slowly backing up a little bit, trying to get some sort of distance between me and the door.
I would give you my name, but no.
All right, no, it is. No. Who is it that you think that I am?
Some sort of demon sent by the devil.
No, definitely not. Because a lot
Then
of...
why you tormented me on my doorstep?
Honestly, couldn't tell you. This isn't... Look. This isn't where I'm meant to be right now.
Clearly.
Where are we? Where is this place? Let's, first things first, here. Where are we?
You're on the mountainside.
Cool, okay. That is some information. The name of the mountain?
I believe the locals call it Baratok.
Okay. Can I roll to if I have any goddamn knowledge of?
Absolutely none.
Right. Did you want to find out what I rolled first?
Not at all.
No. This is not okay. All right. But would I at least know that?
You know that you've not heard of that one.
Okay. All right. But not enough. No, that isn't from my plane of existence. That's just somewhere that I haven't heard of.
It's somewhere you haven't heard of. It
Okay.
could be a mountain in some area you haven't heard
Yeah,
of in
yeah,
your own
yeah,
plane
yeah.
of existence.
Yeah.
But we already established that you're not in Kansas anymore.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Cards on the table. I am a wizard. Cast a spell. Was doing some teleporting, trying to get somewhere. I don't appear to have got where I was aiming for. No idea who you are, what you're talking about. I think between us, we may be able to come to some sort of determination as to what the hell. No.
Sorry?
No.
What is your roll?
That is going to be a 3 total.
3 total.
Yeah. I'm not good at that.
Okay.
It's not his bag.
Um,
Not my bag.
So you don't know who you're talking to.
Not at all. No.
Well, sir, I believe we're in
Did you get
agreement.
No. Not at all. No.
Well, we have a point in common then. I also have no idea who you're talking to.
That's gonna make the rest of this conversation exceedingly difficult. Where are you?
I'm in my home. Where are you?
Okay.
Who's on first?
This
What's on second?
The base.
I gotta tell you, this isn't the day that I was intending to have. It's cold. It's real cold here as well. Can you see me?
Of course, you're right outside my door.
Can I come in?
Roll persuasion.
No.
Yeah.
5.
You've had shit rolls all day.
I'm also
He's only-
-1 to anything
Yeah.
persuasion related.
You promise you're not a demon, right?
I do, because I am not. I am a lot of things, but I can tell you honestly
Good
that
enough
I
for
am.
me. And these 2 doors open up. Essentially, these 2 wooden doors become physical in front of you and open up, and inside you see a long hallway, tall pillars leading up into the roof, well lit with lots of candles all along the side.
What kind of
Let's not do this.
What are the candles sitting in, Ryan? Say the fucking word.
Say Ryan.
Say it, Ryan.
There's like a velvet purple long rug going down this long hallway.
This is where it's like, fuck you. They're floating in the air. Fuck you.
It's fucking Hogwarts. Fuck off. It extends inwards, and then you see this gentleman, again, bald head, like almost like a goatee mustache.
All right, so same guy.
Yeah, same guy that's threw soap suds at you 10 minutes ago. And he's like, come in.
He seems nice.
All right, I go in and once I'm inside, say, for future reference, if you ask someone if they're a demon and they just say no, trust but verify.
Noted. And the doors close behind, and then all of a sudden, you can see where there was sort of darkness behind you. Where all of a sudden, as soon as the doors close, the windows actually start to show the view outside, which is at this point looking down into the valley, seeing the couple of towns spread through the large lake. That's part of the reason why you could see you before. And they start to spill some light a bit more light into the hallway. The hallway is about 80 feet long. Several doorways heading off on the left and right. There's two long staircases that sort of curl around and end onto a larger landing at the rear.
Gotta tell you, I'm having a total TARDIS vibe from this.
Very TARDIS-esque.
Stop the poo.
Come on.
It's a BBC show, been running for 100 years.
We have a TARDIS at work. We have an actual TARDIS at work.
Cool.
I'm going to throw it out there. It's not actually real. It's a TV show.
Oh, you don't know what technology the ABC has access to.
Between every door, there's large ornate oil paintings, ornate frames around them. It's quite lavish.
Tactful though. Oh, okay.
Yeah. We're talking old world.
This isn't new money. This isn't gauche.
This is old money, well appointed, well looked after. He, however, looks an absolute mess. His hair is is gone because he's basically shaved. It's shaved clean. It's not balding. Yep. But aside from that, his clothing is disheveled. It doesn't look like he has really changed in some time. He's there's a couple of holes in it. One of his pockets is just stuffed full of straw.
I look around a little bit and
every now and then you just see this this little pink nose peer out from beneath the points of his robe, beneath the bottom ledge of his nose of his robes.
Oh, what? Sorry.
Little pink nose.
A little pink nose.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is it attached to anything?
You just sort of see this little nose sort of peer out underneath the because the robes are almost at the ground level. Every now and then you see this little sneak of a nose come out and then pop back inside.
Duck down and make noises. Hey, buddy, what's? Who's your friend?
This guy here sort of backs off quickly. He's like, "What are you doing?"
Do you I'm sorry. You may not be aware that you have an animal under your robe.
Picks up the robes and there's nothing down there. Then drops them back down again.
Stand up and sort of look around and go, "This is an exceedingly weird day. I apologize."
Wait. Has he still got detect magic on?
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I wouldn't have let it.
You're blind.
Okay. All right. So at that point, walking in and seeing everything is magic. At that point, I would probably drop it and go, okay.
It's all magic.
Okay.
School
of magic? Is this an illusion?
The whole thing's conjuration.
Yep.
This thing exists. It's not an illusion.
Yep. Okay.
All of a sudden, you hear this sound next to your right ear.
Ah!
And then you just feel this warm and fur line sort of move across from your right ear across to the left, and then sniffing in your ear. peering over, you see the pink nose attached to a sort of a white-grey ferret that is sort of wrapped its way around the back of your neck.
Hey, buddy.
The gentleman sort of looks at you like, Alphonse!
Oh, thank God. You see that? You see that?
Of course. And then he puts his hand up like this, and you hear in your left ear, and then this ferret appears in his hand and sort of curls and runs away up his arm, and then curls around his neck, and then just sort of nuzzles into the side of his the crease of his jaw.
Teleporting ferrets are the worst. Never be rid of them.
Be careful with ferrets.
And he reaches into the right pocket and pulls into that thing of straw, and then pulls out like a mealworm. Holds it up, and the ferret's like rips into it.
Okay. 2 things. First of all, neat. Love it.
This is Alphonse.
Absolutely love it.
He keeps me company in this place. There's so many rooms. So many rooms. I've tried to count them.
You're on your own here? Not much in the way of company?
I have Alphonse.
Oh, we only in Alphonse.
Not a Alphonse. This is Alphonse.
You have Patrick, remember?
How you doing over there, buddy? How you feeling in general? How would you describe?
I'm a little cold. They opened the door before, and you let all the cold air in. You stood there with your mouth agape like some sort of babbling fool talking about whether or not you should trust a demon. Letting all the good warm air out and letting all this mountain cold in.
Wholeheartedly apologize for that. That was on me. Didn't really intend to be it. Thank you for the hospitality, by the way. It certainly is a lot warmer in here than it is out there.
Let's try and find where the fireplace is.
Please. Maybe a quick tour along the way.
Tour? Are you mad?
Quite possibly, yes.
You're
Today certainly seems to be leading in that
company.
direction. Okay. All right.
Let's try and find the fireplace. Beginner's luck, I guess. Where do you think? And he's just like pointing down, and as he's panning his hand across like one wall, you sort of lose count on the amount of doors, and then up above on the second terrace where the staircases lead up, and it seems like the whole hallway extends infinitely each way, but you can see the end on both sides. But as you move your eyes along it feels like space is being added in the space as you look across it.
Just have you ever seen a TV show called Doctor Who at all? Do you get that? No, was it? Yeah. Have you ever seen? There's this TV show on.
I am using a lot of Doctor Who descriptions and everything as I go along here.
Another question for you. Would it possibly be the case that if I was to go into that room, come out, and then go back in, I may find that I am entering a different room than I entered previously? Which is to say, does shit move around in this place?
Oh, good lord! I've never tried. I've always taken myself with me as I go along.
You're not helping. You're not. I feel like we can get to the bottom of this, and I feel like you're not
Good point.
helping.
Let's try the basement.
Okay. Let's try the basement.
I'm enjoying this one a lot.
And if you don't mind a potentially rude question, can I pat your ferret?
Alphonse, what do you think? And he sort of runs down to the left hand and is like into the flat of his left hand. It's like, go on. And the little guy jumps in the gap between his left hand and your right hand, and
then it speaks perfect English in James Earl Jones's voice.
Why, I am your father.
Truly, this is a dark dimension.
Daddy?
Yeah, Alphonse is basically just sitting there, like looking at you expectantly, like, and then sort of rears up on its back legs and does that sort of clawing at the empty space between you.
This is adorable.
Ferrets actually quite like massages.
Well, I guess I know what I'm doing next session. Your entire session is massaging a ferret.
Thank you. That's really all I wanted from this.
I'm massaging the ferret.
Ew.
Don't make it weird. This is already weird enough as it is. For this infinitely long old world mansion and then a town with a changeling and some sort of weird monk going on.
Yeah, right.
He would not say he is weird.
I can't mount any kind of defense to that one.
Oh, we're popping back to you guys in a sec as well.
This is fun. This is great. I'll just watch this. You make a pilot. I want to see a 20-minute like weekly episode of this.
No, that makes
This is really difficult, yo.
Now I'm inside. Can I roll again for like Arcana or History or something? Try to determine like what this place is.
Sure.
I guess if there is anything. Come on, dude. 13.
There are many versions of this sort of magic of creating pocket dimensions. This is especially elaborate. That's what you get with that.
Okay.
With 13.
All right.
This is a pocket dimension
Yep.
created by, most likely, your current companion and owner of Alphonse.
All right. It's not Alphonse's place. I kind of assumed it was Alphonse's place.
Alphonse is a wizard.
Yeah.
Ferret wizard.
Awakened ferret.
And from what I know of pocket dimensions, is this just like a big space in a small space? Or is this going to be like, shit's just enchanted and, God knows what's going to be behind door number 2?
Could be either of those options.
Okay, alright, you know what,
This example of it, you don't know. It is quite impressive. Like most of the other ones are usually just like, it's the room of requirement. It's one particular room, or even just like a couple of small rooms, and then sort of anything that opens up outside of that sort of just ends up in the void of nothing, the space between space.
Yeah, okay. So this is like the fancy mansion version of that.
Mansion is a particularly astute word to use here.
All right.
This is a mansion.
All right. Well,
You've got that spell, tiny hut. This is awesome mansion.
Yeah.
Literally magnificent mansion. He's supposed to have servants.
Supposed to.
don't. I don't know any of this. Don't tell me stuff. All right. Let's go looking for that fire, I guess. So just yourself and Alphonse.
Yeah.
Here. Okay. Your place. You rent.
Airbnb, believe it or not. No.
I'm a recent convert. Some amazing deals on that.
But it's like, no, this is. I believe it's of my own creation. It's my face around here, and most of those portraits along the wall are various pictures of this same guy.
Okay, so that's
Shaved head,
true. Okay.
Goatee, like spectacular robes.
Like one, he's like on a horse, like Napoleon.
We're talking like those sorts of things. There are just different amazing places. There is one in the libraries of Neverwinter where you just were an hour ago. There are ones that you can see that look like the descriptions that you had of Sigil. There are ones of places that you could not imagine.
Go and check them all out and see if any of them have the little plaque.
They do.
Hey, does it say his goddamn name on any of them? God damn it.
Like every one of them, you can, as you're getting closer and closer, you can see there is text there. But as you get closer and try and focus, it just sort of shifts out of focus as you look at it.
It's a neat trick.
And he sort of walks up behind you, he's like, I tried the same myself.
You can't read.
Not at all.
You can't read that. Okay. All right. Usually I can read. Usually I can read.
I find the same thing. Like all the books in one of the libraries I found, like I can read them perfectly. Can't read these little plaques, these dedications.
Here's an idea. I slap myself in the face.
Ouch.
All right, not a dream.
No.
Worth checking. Worth sort of closing that door behind us. Okay. Can't help but notice that you seem to be in quite a lot of these paintings.
Everyone I've found so far.
Yeah. Any like distinct memories from any of these
Nothing
adventures?
whatsoever. I imagine all these people have had spectacular travels. There certainly can't be me.
Uh,
I don't
what would preclude that from being the case?
Why would
Whoops.
someone who hasn't even got a name be able to do all these magnificent things?
Fair point. Fair point. Counter argument. You've lost it. A little bit.
What have I lost?
It's probably going to be a long list. I'm going to start with your mind here. Going to go out on a limb and say that at some point in the past you were quite a powerful spellcaster of some description, and maybe
Sort of
something.
Dust, like tries to sort of dust these. They look like they're centuries old. They're torn up. They're faded. Like I said, one pocket is stuffed full of straw, which is where he pulled that mealworm from. His undershirt and everything like that is shredded.
But underneath all that, you can sort of see that. I mean, these were wizardy robes.
Oh yeah,
yeah. All right.
And of the highest level.
Yeah, I mean, look, time makes fools of us all, but that's you're wearing the outfit of a wizard there, Harry.
He's like wearing like tier 1 raid gear.
Still impressive, but not anymore.
Yeah, so it's trying to dust off and then just try to, every now and then, see a little bit of like mud and like crap come off. And
I cast prestidigitation and clean him.
Okay.
Clean him up.
And he's like, whew. And yeah,
Bit better?
still torn up. Like the dirt's gone, and you can see like the a lot more of the colours back now that you've cleaned away some of the grime and dirt and everything like that. You can see some of the fine gold and silver stitching that is stitched all the way through the lining. There's a lot of it's still broken and torn and everything like that, but yeah, it looks significantly more impressive.
Feel a bit better. Sometimes just a bit of a wash and some clean clothes can clear the head a little bit.
Yeah, he's like, let's find that fire.
Let's.
And he starts walking towards this set of stairs that lead downwards. As you come out of the sort of narrow stone staircase, you come in, stepping down onto the upper tier of that same room you were just in, that same long hallway. But you've walked down a set of stairs, and you're sitting on a terrace that runs along the entire border of the walls, above where the door that you entered to come into this mason the first off.
Yeah.
Is
just
right below you. If you broke through the floor where you are on this sort of terracing, you would be above the door.
sort of look back and I was kind of expecting some fucky.
And he looks a little bit down that this is not the basement. He was hoping for a basement, but best of 3.
Yeah, I've got a couple more in me. Let's give it another whirl.
Which door would you like?
Number 3.
Number 3?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling lucky.
Okay, you walk up to that one there and you open up the door. It opens inwards and you open into a vast...
Hey, now we're on something. I know you had your heart set on a basement here, and we can keep trying.
On the side of this library, fireplace, 2 plush reading chairs, so facing each other. In the middle is one of those small round tables, and there is a bottle of liquor and 2 glasses, already poured out. A single ice cube floating within, and he's place is already set.
Maybe locked out of the
basement, but.
Can't have
Here we
everything, really.
I guess we can keep the fire going with some of these.
Let's sort of see how that goes. Not really much one for burning books myself.
And he sort of signals to you take a seat on the right hand side, and he sort of sits down into his seat and sort of picks up the glass and sniffs at it and takes a sip. Seems fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give it a couple of seconds, and all right. I shall join
and we'll jump back over to these guys for a little bit.
Hey, hi.
I'm having a bit of a weird day.
I told you I had some fun bringing why you into this world. You guys have concluded your
Card tricks.
card tricks, yes, but they've described So the first card of the warrior. The warrior tells of history. Knowledge of the ancient will help you better understand your enemy. That with which he seeks lies in the in the womb of darkness, the devil's lair, the one place which he must return.
Sexy.
Second card was the missionary. This card tells of a powerful force of good and for good and protection, a holy system of great hope. I see a garden dusted with snow, watched over by a scarecrow with a sackcloth grin. Look not to the garden, but to the guardian. Third card was the bishop. This card was a card of power and strength. It tells of a weapon of vengeance, a sword of sunlight. What you seek lies in a pile of treasure beyond a set of amber doors. The fourth one, the broken one. This card sheds light on the one who will help you greatly in the battle against darkness. Your ally will be a wizard. His mind is broken, but his spells are strong.
Doesn't sound like anything I've heard of.
And the fifth card is the beast. Your enemy is a creature of darkness whose powers are beyond mortality. This card will lead you to him. The beast sits on his dark throne. Yeah.
It won't close any more than that.
That's fine. But yeah. So you've had that reading. She does explain that she's done, despite having shuffled the cards several times, the exact same reading for a previous group of adventurers that fell recently.
That does not bode well for our chances.
Where did they fall, if you don't mind my asking?
I feel they may have taken on more than they should have. Oh, gas. No, they took on more than they should have. They veered off the path of discovery that the cards laid out, and unfortunately fell in the process. They took 2 witches out there, 2 hags, and destroyed the hag's home.
This was the bakery.
Sorry?
This was the bakery.
As far as I understand, these hags
I
were...
like the other one. It's Grafton, I'm not sure if you can keep it going, but
Yeah.
I think I like the other one.
The hags that were there were selling pastries within the town. You could call it a bakery. It is gone now.
Very well. Maybe we should visit the site. Maybe
it's only about a day's. It's less than a day's travel from here up through the hills. You'll see it before you hit the town of Valky, which I do recommend popping down and checking on.
Very well. Mr. Rin.
Just Rin is fine.
Rin, what would you say about visiting this site, searching for clues, as it were?
That sounds good to me. I'm always open to new experiences.
Excellent. And on the way I shall detail the finer points of brewery.
I'm not actually interested in a brewery, but okay.
How about healing potions? I can tell you how to make them.
Again, I'm not very interested, but as you are.
Very well.
It is not my place to tell you what you should and shouldn't say.
I love him. This so much. Okay, so it's
Try to be polite.
It's a little after. It's about 1 at this point when you mount up and start heading towards the next town. And before the sun starts to actually set, you come up near to where it's fairly obvious where it happened, because you can just basically see the burnt out husk of a windmill and other patches of.
Clearly, this was a tragic end to some like inspiring and mighty heroes.
We should probably have a look around. By that I mean do investigation.
Yes.
13 plus investigation. Oh, just 13.
13. Which part are you poking through? The actual windmill?
First the windmill, and then I'll investigate the other pile.
Okay. So the windmill, the upper levels all burnt out and collapsed into the stonework of the ground floor. The millstone has basically like dropped that entire level and just flattened everything on the lower level. You do find like fragments of bone and bits and pieces like that. You also see. What do you guys do with the Did you do anything with the bodies of the hags, or you left them in the fire inside the window?
Yeah, they would.
Well,
it was already like burning down
There
pretty
were
heavy.
two of them
just
that
left.
died outside of the house.
I think you guys said you just sort of just. I think you said you just turfed them inside the windmill, didn't you?
I don't think he said
I
anything.
don't think you did. I don't think.
No, I didn't do anything. Yeah, I didn't do anything with them. I
Okay.
thought that they were more in.
One was definitely inside.
Yeah, one was
And
inside.
That one there, let's almost go Wizard of Oz style. The millstone is there, and there's just a set of like charred feet poking out from underneath it.
Good riddance.
And then outside there is a corpse that has been heavily picked over by crows and other carrion eaters. Eyes have long gone. A lot of the flesh has been peeled away. There's still some meat in them bones, but it's a pretty grisly sight. It's been a good couple of weeks.
Would there be anything like, obviously not healing potion wise, but like alchemical wise, I might be able to salvage from it?
No. This is a 2-week-old fire. Anything that would have been usable is...
Oh no, I mean from the body,
Oh, from the body. Ooh.
like demon bones or something.
Hag toes.
Roll investigation.
It's a 5.
There's some bits. You can grab some bits. You can grab some Chunko Witch.
Ew.
Oh,
But
Chunko
why-
2-week-old decomposing witch.
yeah, I'll cut the hands off.
Hats. Okay. Yep.
You are
Yeah.
you're a curious individual.
As are you, sir.
Thank you.
What are you doing, Rin?
I think he's less investigating this and more just like tentatively watching what he's doing.
Okay.
I'm thinking he would find what you're doing in this spot more interesting than the spot itself.
Okay.
Dave is watching Rin.
I'm watching you watch over me.
Pretty much, yeah.
Uh,
So, like, because the shared senses thing is also watching Rin.
This is a Mexican standoff. We're just looking at each other.
Pretty much, yeah.
Weird. Okay, so heading over to the pyre.
Mm-hmm.
The center is basically like sunk into what looks like a sinkhole. You can see like drag marks of where like paws or claws or so forth have like scratched inwards into the cave section. There are several 3 skeletons of skeletal remains that have been burnt down to the point where they're basically like dust that break underfoot. Roll an investigation on this one.
It's a 5 again. Damn it.
Near to the smaller of the skeletons, there is like a dark section in the ash.
I want to poke it
Okay.
with my pimp cane.
You poke it in, and then and as you sort of pull it back out again, it's rather like a clump. It's almost like it's wet or something like that, stuck to the end of your cane.
I use Mage Hand to try and brush it off.
You brush it off, but it's sort of as you do, you sort of smear. It smears across the end of your cane. The ash has gotten damp with something. The colouring on the end of your cane now is sort of this mixture of the dark ash from a funerary pyre and the brown of blood that has sat in light for a little while, or sat in air for a little while.
Okay.
What you also notice is there is nothing else there that I described from the beginning.
I think my...
No stuff.
No stuff.
No, I figured there wouldn't be.
Not even
Right.
not even your jug.
There was a pretty big jug as well.
How are we going to make mayonnaise jugs now? Ryan, did you think of that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Where's my mayonnaise?
That's alright. I'll have to take that ring back off your inventory and I'll give you an alchemy jug back.
No. I'm keeping this ring. I've already got a spell that's like stored in it. I know what I've pre-stored.
Yeah. How are you reacting at this point?
Fairly indifferent, I guess. It's just, I do not believe it is fruitful to disturb this funeral pyre.
I'm more looking for the source of death. I don't know exactly what happened here, but I believe it's worth investigating. Do you not agree?
I believe the fire will have consumed any evidence of what you seem to be looking for.
And yet there are claw marks that have come out of the fire. I believe this is something worth tracking, do you not?
All right, you have convinced me. Let us follow these tracks.
You seem to be the more observant on this one. Roll perception.
Perception.
Yeah, it's perception, right, boss?
15.
15.
What's my passive perception? Because I think that's higher. Yeah, I rolled a 9.
Okay.
So my passive perception is
Would be
16
then.
Yeah.
The whole time you've been at this site, there has been 4 ravens just perched in the tree line, just watching you guys as you move around, completely silent, which is odd.
Do you see those ravens over there?
Do you say this to me or to Dave?
I'm standing next to you.
Oh, okay. I didn't realise you were standing next to me.
But no, I'm following you around. Like, weirdly.
Oh, I thought you were like standing off in the distance, watching me.
No, I'm like trailing behind you, like.
Okay. I think he's a
Like
little bit
creepy
more.
if you let it be creepy.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit unnerving at least. But yes. It's more like a lost puppy, really.
Okay, but how do you notice the ravens?
Well, he's pointed them out to me, so presumably, yeah. And my gazer's passive perception is 14.
In my experience, it is quite odd for ravens to be staring like that.
Perhaps we should.
Maybe we should destroy them utterly.
I was going to suggest that. How fortunate that we agree on something.
Okay.
What's a good destructive spell I have? Ooh.
Okay.
What are you? What's your build? What are you mostly geared for?
Dying to ravens. I guess.
Mischief. What?
What?
What? Why are we going to die to ravens?
Didn't say
Are
anything
you
about dying to ravens.
offensive?
You did say that.
How offensive is your
Play back
magic?
the tape.
He has a lot of utility, but he has some bitchin' offense.
Oh.
Yeah, I sort of just like point at the ravens and like where they are just starts radiating green light. And they all have to make a constitution saving throw.
You are the worst.
Oh, and everything within 30 feet should really be making a constitution saving throw.
He's doing magic.
I gave you the plot point, but I wasn't ready ready for like just instant attack.
Sorry.
Granted, 3 people died here last time. I can understand why you might. I probably should have been more prepared for this, considering the situation. But
Is this a bad idea? Is this a very bad idea?
It seems to be a real bad idea.
I don't know. Is it a bad idea? I don't know. Is it? It could be a bad idea. What did you cast, sorry?
It's a real bad
Radiance.
And is there a save involved? Is there?
Yeah, DC 15.
DC 15
Yeah,
on each of them.
Yeah, if you want to do on each of them, or if you want to do a group save.
Although they are definitely individuals. What was the save, sorry?
15.
Alright. 1 passes, 3 fail.
Alright, they take 4d10 radiant damage. Where's my d10?
You did,
Oh, and they all take 1 level of exhaustion.
you did magic at them.
Okay.
9, 9, 7, 7. So, like...
It's a D8.
No, that is a d8.
I mean, this is going to get worse. Why did you shut your mouth?
No, it might not be worse. I say might. That's not as bad. So yeah, that's 28 damage of radiant. 28 radiant damage, and they all Is that a 6? Oh yeah, that is a 6. So yeah, 26 damage.
Okay.
27.
Is it like half damage on a failed save?
It doesn't actually say, so I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
Okay. You see 3 forms. I'm pretty sure it is. Save is still half damage, right?
It does not say on this, but I would assume so.
Yeah. Okay. We'll roll with that because this is going to make this incredibly interesting. So,
Fine.
3 of them.
I am terrified of what's happening next.
3 of them just explode into this cloud of like raven feathers, and as they sort of fall to the ground, you see the two smaller forms and 1 adult size humanoids splayed out on the ground. The last one has also shifted into human form, and it's a tall dude, big black beard, long black hair, and he's like, "What are you doing?
Well, my friend over here suggested we
Save my family."
Are they still within the 30-foot radius?
Why?
Well, I mean, like if they are not within it anymore, they won't take any more damage.
They are And he's stopping for a moment. He's basically like shoveling through his thing.
They weren't bad.
Well, I think you sort of jumped to a conclusion there.
And I'm punishing you for it. Get over here.
Who are you, and why are you watching me?
No time. After. And he's shuffling through, and he's grabbing this small vial and he's just panicking, looking at the three bodies.
David, assist me.
It is generally considered counterproductive to assist the people that you are in the process of fighting.
Are we fighting them right now, or is this man pleading for our assistance?
You just cast a destructive magic spell at them.
You suggested I did that. You do not seem the kind of person to make rash decisions.
We don't know each other very well.
That is what the image of what you're seeing. Ladies and gentlemen.
That was the picture that I had for a while.
That's the picture of Wyu as well.
That's the picture of Wyu.
But three of them.
Wait.
He's Wyu.
I'm
From
having-
the future.
I'm having a real weird day.
But yeah, he's shuffling through his pack and he pulls out this small vial and pulls up the head, like the upper body and head of the smaller boy, and like drops a few drops in there. What was the actual spell you cast at him?
Sickening radiance.
I'm assuming it's like poisonish or
And radioactivity.
oh, fantastic.
Once they're out of the spell's radius or the spell's been turned off, all of the
Is the spell turned off?
Yeah.
Okay.
The levels of exhaustion just dissipate.
Okay. But you also did enough damage to just outright kill them.
I did.
Oh yes.
Hmm.
But yeah, he's pouring a couple of drops into it, and then this kid just the colour comes back into his face, and he sputters back to life. Is like,
I guess I will stroll over to the scattered bodies on the ground, like he's having a moment where he's sort of like it looks like he's weighing up some, and I guess he'll try and help one of them, the one that's
there's one adult female, and one younger child, also female.
I guess he'll help the child.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I guess it's a medicine roll.
Yes, it is.
I don't think I have that.
Medicine is plus wisdom, so you're probably going to be good.
+3. Okay. I rolled a 5. I got a 5.
Can I assist him?
He walks over and starts just poking.
Does that help?
How would you like to provide assistance to hopefully unfuck this?
Slap his hand away. Stop that.
Presumably, Narlag has healing potions or medicine
He
kits.
certainly does. It's one of the things he was spouting as one of his sales items.
Yeah.
I have not seen damage of this type before.
Because he's essentially failed that medicine check. This kid is looking a lot worse off.
Yeah, failed medicine check is failed death save, isn't it? Yeah, Narlag is gonna bring the his assistant over and administer a healing potion.
Okay.
You'll have to forgive me. I am not a healer of any description.
Why did you wink?
I didn't wink.
So, knock off 25 gold worth of materials for as far as it goes for what would be required for making a healing potion.
Yeah. I'll just knock off 25 gold from his gold pile.
Yeah, that's essentially what I have. Which is basically just the things you have to make potions for the time being. And yeah, you managed to pour enough into this kid to bring them back. Meanwhile, the sort of the dark bearded gentleman has gone over and poured a bit more of the vial that he had his into the woman's mouth, and she's coming to as well. As soon as they're all sort of conscious, they shift back into their raven form and take off at a great pace.
Fair enough.
Should I follow them?
Well,
Can
I would suggest
you
we
really
do so.
can?
Let us do that. Maybe they know what happened, and maybe you can be more diplomatic than I was.
Yes, I could definitely be diplomatic. Let us see how that goes.
Was that sarcasm, good sir?
No. Yeah, that's cool. I'll do that. His walking stick, he taps on the ground.
Yep.
And takes off.
Okay.
You flying?
That's cool.
You flying?
He's flying.
He's flying.
He's got fly, featherfall, and longstrider charges in that stuff.
Nice.
It's all about the...
How fast do you move?
It's just regular fly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Flying speed of 60 feet for the duration for 10 minutes.
Okay. I'm going to send Dave along with you. Because I cannot fly, but he can.
His fly speed is what?
30 feet, but he can dash.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So, you take off, keeping behind these ravens.
I'm imagining, like, instead of it, like, this is just my flavour. Instead of it being like flying like Superman, it is the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon sort of wushu, like really long hops off treetops.
I feel like he jumped onto a cloud at some point.
Could definitely be a cloud.
Chala, head chala.
But God damn it!
The walking stick might be red. It might have to be red.
Might have to be red.
Yeah.
You were doing Dragon Ball. We're doing Monkey Magic.
I haven't seen Monkey Magic.
Oh, that's right.
The stuff
You're
in-
baby.
Scroll your...
Stuff in Monkey Magic is like black with gold ends. I'm pretty sure.
That was red.
The Dragon
Red
Ball
with gold ends as well.
It has
Am I
also
just
been
mixing both
like
those up in
30
my
years
head?
since I've seen that show.
the Dragon Ball one is red. That's what I was.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Fuck.
See?
You two are doing Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
I'm doing my own goddamn thing.
I mean, they're the same thing.
yeah, they are. Like Son Goku is actually
Is the Monkey King?
is the Monkey King.
Yeah.
It's the 3,000-year-old fable by Wu Sheng-en.
Yeah.
Because I'm tight.
You got two in today. Good on you. Anyway, so you managed to keep pace with these ravens. They are flying directly towards a town to the northwest of where you are currently.
Okay. Is that? Oh yeah.
It's
well,
Valaki. Out of character, it's Valaki. Actually, you've been in town long enough. You would know what this is. This is Valaki. They dive towards a larger building in the middle of the town, and as they get close to the sort of the peaks of the roof, they sort of tuck their wings in and dart straight through like a small opening within the rooftop.
Okay. I guess I'll hover outside the opening.
Yep.
And say, excuse me, Raven people.
You hear inside, you hear
Are
this,
you in there?
You hear this. What is your purpose?
I am simply a wanderer in these parts, seeking to find enlightenment. I was.
Do you choose to cohort with murderers?
My boss ain't no murderer.
At this time, yes. That is just happenstance, however.
Listen, we were at a suspicious murder site.
Jesus Christ.
You was there watching this. Of course we gotta do something.
What the fuck is that?
My name's Dave.
I honestly don't know. I have travelled very far and wide. I have never seen one of these things before. It is truly strange.
Call me a gazer.
He
I
says
don't
he
think
is,
we're allowed to call you that.
He says
you
he-
can call you that, but we can't call you that.
He says he is a gazer. I haven't heard that term before, though.
I guess that explains the big eye.
Hey.
But
So, what we
if
want
you
to
don't
know...
mind, we just my entire family was nearly wiped out. Please leave us alone, unless you have some way of repaying us or helping us.
Well, we did actually,
You
heal...
killed us.
Hey, I ain't the one who cast the spell that killed half your family. I am his underling, as he likes
Your
to call me.
boss killed my children and my wife
That ain't got nothing to do with me.
just by chance.
I mean, it does definitely have something to do with you.
Yeah, but it also has something to do with you, and you wouldn't really call yourself a murderer, now would you?
Oh, I've definitely murdered people in the past. That is true.
Oh. Well then, well. Listen. We ain't here to make much of a fuss. We was there to find out who done what, and who killed who. You was there watching us.
Wait, you guys still just floating outside the building?
Yeah, he
This is
levitates.
him in character.
Yeah?
Yeah, yes, we are. We could come to the door if that is more suitable.
Please do. I'd rather you not draw too much attention to the roof of this place.
How big is the hole that they're talking through?
About maybe.
It may be, if you're looking to not draw attention, that may be a problem with this creature. But, okay.
It's alright, I'll put my disguise on.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Alright.
This got weird, man. This got weird.
It did. It got weird real fast. I'm assuming you're going to try and catch up.
Oh yeah, like he's like driving the car, so it's got to take a couple hours.
You're only about 10-15 minutes out of there.
Oh, okay.
It's not going to take you long to get in there. You float down to the doorway. Hanging above the doorway is a sign saying Blue Water Inn. It's a double-level building, decent size. It's one of the larger in the immediate area anyway. And you saw a fair few of them coming on the way in, aside from a church and some other bureaucratic buildings. This is one of the larger ones.
So Rin will float down to the door. He's not being weird and sneaky about it though. He's just gonna okay and floating down to the door and just knock knock.
Dave also floats down.
There's a little sign just something like the saying "open" hanging on the door.
I'm just
knock
gonna,
knock.
I'm just gonna open this for us.
And just I-beam.
Oh god.
Oh yeah, he's got telekinesis I-beams.
Okay, fair enough. The door opens. It is unlocked. It is just the front door to an inn. You've been to an inn before, right?
This is a very quaint custom that people in this plane have that I do not partake in.
Of just walking into inns or having inns.
Yes. Having
Oh my god, it's such a frustrating character to deal with. I love every bit of this so much. Okay.
Come on, buddy.
Alright. The doorway opens up and inside you see several tables. A few of them have people around it. There's essentially a bar and meal area. There is a elevated balcony area opposite you that looks over the bar area, and then what looks like a few scattered doors surrounding the top, so you genuinely haven't been in an inn before?
He probably has.
Yeah. They would be the rooms.
So Rin will walk into the middle of the tavern and go, excuse me, has anybody seen a family of humans that can transform into ravens?
You get the whole sort of music stops, everyone turns and looks at you, and
I apologize for interrupting your revelry.
and they sort of go back to what they were doing. You start to hear footsteps coming from across the top of that upper level, and you see the gentleman with the long dark beard sort of walking around. He's sort of dusting his jacket down a little bit. You see a couple little bits like straw and everything just get scattered off, and he walks down the stairs to you and come on around the back.
Alright, let's go.
You are waiting here, and he points to a barrel.
In the barrel.
In the barrel.
No. I will destroy that barrel.
We are belligerent and hostile and weird.
Oddly threatening against barrels. I will destroy your barrel.
So he leads you out into a back room, and I think that might be where I leave your guys'
Monster.
story.
It's I'm not saying that to be insulting. He's a monster.
Yes, he is a literal monster.
That's where I'm probably going to leave your guys' story for tonight. I'll quickly do a last little bit with Waiyu, and then we'll probably finish up for this one.
Yes.
Waiyu, warm in front of this this roaring fire that's in front of you.
Lovely.
The guy next to you has put his feet up on this this quite ornate ottoman that's up in front of him, and kicked off a couple of really grotty old boots. But yeah, he's kicked his old boots off, and warming his socks against the fire, leaning back, sipping away at this drink. He's like, "What were we saying?"
Good question. It was only a minute ago, but for some reason it feels like a lot longer.
And it does weirdly feel like quite some time. You feel like you've sat there in silence for 3 hours, but at the same time you know you've only been sitting down for maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Time feels weird in this place.
I believe we were trying to get to the bottom of exactly who you are and where we are, and some rather broad questions around what the fuck is just happening to me
We're in my
today.
home. I think this is my home. I live here, so I guess it's my home.
Well, that gets
Alphonse
into
is
definition
here.
of terms,
I guess
doesn't it?
This could be Alphonse's home.
I mean, I assumed. No. This is
You did, actually.
If you have paintings in a house that you live in, it's probably your house. So, yeah, let's go.
I assume the same thing.
I think we can bed that one down and say this is your house. The question would be,
So where have you come from?
I mean, I can tell you where I've come from, how, and where I am now. I'm as much in the dark as you are on that.
I guess 2 seconds, and he walks over to a post and turns a small like one of the columns and turns a small sort of like spigot, and a couple of the candles around the area just sort of flare up a little bit more. It's like a little bit more light for you.
Nice. What else can this place do?
I have no idea.
Right, we have established that. So I come from, and explain a little bit about sort of the material realm that I'm from, that I myself do not know.
Is that the place beyond the mist? The mist, of course, you've never actually heard about.
I don't know. What is the mist? Is that the name of a place? Is this a geographic entity?
A wall? Wall would be the right way of talking about it.
Okay. Barrier magic? Some sort of mist-based barrier magic, I think we're digging at here.
That's some good thinking.
While we're
Magic.
talking, I'll start rifling through the library
Mm-hmm.
and start just sort of reading the spines of the books and pulling out anything that seems interesting. What sort of topics are on offer here? Is this sort of broad library, or is
These
this
are
specific?
Thousands and thousands of research tomes on all things arcane. Planar shifting, like entire shelves devoted to the planar system. Then you have areas of basically every school of magic you can think of. There is an entire shelf devoted to it.
And a full set of Encyclopedia Britannicas.
Those things are big.
But every time you go and try and look at the author, you get the same sort of visual experience as looking at the plaques on the
Right,
pages.
okay. But
You get to the author, and it's just like bleh.
that's only
Everything else
specific to...
perfectly clean.
Okay. Okay. Starting to piece some stuff together here. Why was also like repressing the urge to make like a strangled, exciting, gurgling noise over just having all of this. He will be taking advantage of the time dilation effects and spending a bit of time just reading this shit, especially around any sort of planar travel that might come in handy later. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that this is your house. That is you and all of the paintings. You are the author of most, if not all, of these incredible tomes, and something has been done to erase you. Ringing any bells?
Not at all.
Well,
But roll Arcana.
That's a good one.
That is 19 plus 8.
There is definitely mind magic that you know of that is capable of doing this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Of eradicating anyone's knowledge of themselves, a person's knowledge of themselves and their own experiences.
It's called tequila.
It's a spell called Mind Blank,
Okay.
which you're familiar with. It's above your level of casting, but you've heard of it.
Yeah. What? And that would account for...
It would
Everything we're
explain a
seeing here.
good portion of what's going on around here.
Yeah.
The
All right.
actual doesn't explain the mansion itself, but it explains the current condition
Sure.
of your host,
Yeah.
who's unable to identify himself, and the fact that everything inside this place is also unable to identify him, because this is all a creation his.
Okay.
And I think at that point there, we'll call it for the night. It's a slightly shorter one, but there's a good little start off point.
Hmm.
And the next session we'll have some storylines start to coalesce.
We murdered some crows.
You murdered some You murdered some were-ravens. Let's be truthful.
Where ravens?
They got better.
Yeah, they did get better. I made
We
sure they got
murdered them a
better.
little bit and then poked them a little bit
They
further.
were only dead for a couple of minutes.
They weren't actually dead. They were just dying.
Just mostly dead.
I mean, people make a fuss, really.
When someone walks up and just like one-shots half your family, you might get a little upset.
You haven't met my family.
There. I'm probably going to stop the recording now.